Welcome to 726 in Harrison, Arkansas. Thank you so much for being here this specific day and time, whenever you're watching the program. And thank you so much for filling in for me last week. I was out of town, which I don't do very much. I took a little solo road trip out to see my father in Kentucky, and spent 3 days with him out there. You know, he's 80 years old now, and he doesn't act 80.
You told me that now you can be around him and say, oh, that's where I get that from.
Well, see, my mother and father were divorced when I was 4 years old, and I spent time with him, but only periodically, so I didn't spend a lot of time with him, hardly whatsoever. But, I mean, it wasn't an estranged relationship. I mean, we always talked and whatever. But I've never really spent, like, 24 hours at a time with him. It was just like, hey, how you doing? Let's go eat, and then I'm seeing you. Bye.
Right.
So I spent 3 days with him, and I noticed some things that he did that I do, and it was just kind of
Especially
odd.
not having been around him for long periods of time growing up.
So he's in fairly good health, and he's got a fishing boat, and a pontoon boat. Yeah, he's got a pontoon boat, and he lives by himself. And he goes to the river twice a week and goes out on this boat, and it was just like, why are you doing this? But he loves it, you know. And
well, that's why he's doing it.
Yeah, and he's not stable as much as I am. And he was on the boat, and he would slip a little bit. I'd grab him, and I'd say, you're going to end up in the river here. He says, well, I've already fell in 3 times this year. So I mean, it's like, oh. Okay, and he lives 600 miles away, so I can't really, you know, if he calls and says, you know, I fell, I can't, you know, help him. So it's one of those situations that
Speaking of falling,
yeah.
Did you fall recently?
No.
I hear otherwise.
A little story about me slipping in the cow.
Yeah, let's just talk about you. Cow manure.
Yeah, I slipped in some cow manure.
Did you get it all over you?
No, I just did the splits in it. I hit it, and it took me. It took me on a little ride.
I bet it did.
But that was fun. Anyway.
I'd like to have seen
So I appreciate the show. You doing the show last week? Was it a breeze? Was it?
It was just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
No problem. It was a short show.
Yeah, that's all we could do.
You told him that Ann was going to be by herself, and everybody went, forget it. I don't want to talk to her.
No, I would think that they would rather be here. They get a word in edgewise.
I don't think so.
So what's happening? I know we've got Thanksgiving's come up. Halloween is over with. Did you do anything for the Halloween thing?
I didn't do a thing for Halloween.
Yeah.
My 8th grader had a ball game, so that kind of blew him out of the water. But they're not really wanting to go trick-or-treating so much anymore. And now where we live, there was absolutely no trick-or-treaters whatsoever. Yeah. My granddaughter was in town, but she had spent the night with me, so she got her candy all throughout.
Well, I helped Preston Garrison with the Dead Run.
How was that?
Well, I helped with the bands. I brought some equipment for them. But there was a lot of kids in zombie outfits, you know, moulage and gray skin and blood and all that.
So you didn't participate in the race itself?
No. But that was a fun event. We might talk to him about that a little bit later on.
Zombie Run, the Rebirth or something.
So what's on your agenda for the holidays this month? Are you staying home or are you traveling?
We're staying home. No, not traveling. Stay home. Yeah. Continue to do what we're doing. And I was discussing with Dan that we may get us a few cows. And so we'll just be playing in the field, I guess.
Yeah. You need to get some poop boots, you know, when you go out in the field.
I have poop boots. Thank you.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, you know, have you heard any Christmas music yet?
No.
I have.
Now, I've seen, you know, it's kind of funny. I have to, in Bergman, where we can go real easily, they have a Dollar General. One aisle was Halloween. The next aisle over was Christmas.
Right.
It's like it gets earlier every year.
Yeah, it does.
It's just kind of crazy. But I've not heard the Christmas music yet. How about you?
What was the question?
Christmas music.
Oh. Well, you took a detour, and I'm like, okay, we're talking about Christmas candy now.
Christmas music.
Christmas, yeah, I have, on
Where?
television somewhere. I've heard it already, you know. So, oh well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't. We always decorated after Thanksgiving. So we're not even in the
Have
mode
you got
yet.
a list yet of things you're going to purchase for your friends and family for Christmas or not?
No,
Yeah, good.
too early. So,
Well,
All
I'm sure we'll have some ideas. We're going to have probably people on the show from here on out. I like the stuff that people make and the crafty things
You
and
bet.
things like that.
good.
So let's talk about who's going to be on the show today, because I think that's probably we only allot ourselves so many minutes, and I think
we've exceeded it.
Probably did. So let's move on.
Ginger Milan is here with the Boone County Library, and she has brought with her Ginger Schonenberger. And they're going to talk about some things that are going on at the Boone County Library. She told me it's Ginger squared. Just saying.
Yeah. Like
And-
this? Yeah.
We also have Michelle Steiner here and possibly Mike Moore if he makes it. They are going to talk, or Michelle's going to talk about a subject that's a tough subject, I would think, abusive head trauma, and we'll be talking with her about that. We also have Preston Garrison, who is co-director of the upcoming play True West, which I thought, well, Michael Mahoney probably isn't going to be here, but we'll give him kudos because he's in it.
Well, this is a production that has actually been brought back because of its popularity. So this is going to be. I mean, this sometimes you put on productions that you don't know what the reaction is going to be from the community, but this one was a big success, and they're bringing it back.
And last year when they did it, there was an injury, so I think
Oh,
that
we'll talk
we
about
are
that.
revamping.
Okay.
Be ready to talk about that, Preston. And also we have Jeannie Hunt. She's going to talk about the Boys Ranch open house. We will go to break. Stay with us, and when we return, we'll have Ginger Squared.